How to Throw a Football by Tom Brady. It's the GOAT.
So I've been thinking about what the most interesting videos we could make are, and there are a million ways
Put
we
on the
could go,
caption.
but what if we did the simplest thing possible this week? I haven't really talked about this before, but it's something that I think I'm pretty good at. So I made YouTube's definitive guide on how to throw a football.
This could be copyright. Tom, what you doing,
Giving away
man?
35 years of information. I had a lot of different throwing mentors over the year. It started with Tom Martinez, one of the great coaches in the San Mateo Bay Area. I met my best friend, Alex Guerrero, who I worked with on all the muscles and all the different facets of creating the ground force from my legs up through the tip of my fingers over a long period of time. And then Tom House, who I met and worked with him pretty regularly for the last 10, 11 years of my career. I think everybody taught me different things, and Alex was probably more focused on body recovery training. Tom Martinez and Tom House focused a lot on the mechanics. I'm happy to
He has
share
a lot
it
of
with
Tom
aspiring
friends.
young, not just, I would say, quarterbacks, but throwers of anything. I think any rotational energy creation, whether you're swinging a baseball bat, hitting a golf ball, hitting a hockey puck, throwing a baseball, throwing a javelin, how much power can you create on the ground, and how little can you lose through the course of your throwing motion to ultimately when you release the ball?
Give me your 5 most talented arms in NFL history.
It's a great question. All-time arm talent, Dan Marino, Aaron Rodgers. I think that most people would certainly say those two. I'd say Brett Favre. I would probably say, and it's hard, and I think, I might put Matt Stafford up there. I'm missing a lot of people. I mean, I think of Jeff George, Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick, Josh Allen. Those guys were a step above. People who have great arms, and then I think you have the elite arms.
All right, Tom, we've been waiting for this one. We're here
Tom's
with
just
the
been chilling.
Veritasium crew today.
Cool.
To figure out exactly what's happening when you're throwing a football. First, though, the definitive YouTube guide to how to throw a football.
This video could be around a long time. Let's work on a few things. The throwing will always start with your legs and getting the power from the ground up through your ankles, through your knees, through your hips, through your shoulders, into your right arm. Once you get the energy traveling up from the ground, you don't want any of that energy to go anywhere except to the fingertips in the ball and at the release point so you can drive the football. I used to keep basically a base that was slightly wider than my shoulders. It gave me really good balance. I could stride quickly, and that stride was kind of the impetus of the throw.
I don't know, man. I just feel like if you have the arm power, you could throw the football.
As soon as I stride, I would load the football, and you could see my head is behind my center of gravity, which is the center frame of my body. I never wanted to stride with my head in front of the center of my chest because you would lose a lot of power that way. So it's almost like loading a golf swing, loading a baseball swing, or a slap shot. Same thing with a football. So as I would stride with my left foot, the ball would be slightly pushed back with my right foot, and my arm would try to stay really relaxed because it should really be a whip, like a spaghetti noodle. Shortstop position, right on the balls of your feet. Just like a really athletic position. Like I said, you could hit a baseball from here, you could field a ground ball from here, you could throw a football from here. My left
So just
shoulder would
baseball.
essentially be pointed at my target, which in this case is straight ahead. So as I point straight ahead and I stride, I load the ball. I also rotate my left shoulder a little bit opposite of my throw. So I'm basically crossing that front shoulder over the left side to create a little torque between my shoulder and my hip. And the more I could create, the more energy I could store, then I would unleash the storage of that energy on the throw. So those are the 2 main points. 1 is the ground force, which is essentially the stride. 2 is the torque, which is the disassociation between my left shoulder and my hips. And you asked me this in the car, what changed over the course of my career? I used to use this left arm for power, and I would try to swing my left arm open to try to gain velocity. But what I realized over time was this left arm, it would hang out in front and it wouldn't move. So I'd almost rotate around my left arm. Okay, so instead of using my arm to pull my body through, I would use my left arm to stabilize my body. My
It's the
eyes
little
would stay
things.
level, and then all
Always
my
the
energy
little
was going
things.
forward. If I was swinging my left arm that way, a lot of my
Form
energy would
and
be
all
going
that
that
stuff.
direction if I was trying to throw it straight ahead. Call that vector training. You'd want to get all of your vectors right at my target, okay? Stride, torque, throw. What I like to do at the last
really
part
see
of the
anything
throw
there.
is I'm releasing the ball, I'm really releasing, right? I'm always trying to touch his nose.
Were you doing that every time you threw a football to a receiver?
Well, not every time, I'm
Always.
sure.
Trying the best I could. So knees are bent like a shortstop, short stride, my head's behind my center of gravity, my left shoulder is slightly rotated with torque, and then as I fire my hips through, this left arm stays kind of right in front and relaxed, and then my eyes are level, and the ball is being released right at his face. And then as I get my legs
that's
more
his
warmed
chest.
up, I'll try to go a little faster with my feet and even relax my arm a little more. So if someone said, I want you to throw the ball harder, I would move a little faster into the target, and I try to relax my upper body even more.
But there's one thing that, whether it's college players, young NFL players,
Yep.
high school kids, are doing that you don't like.
The air for most people is they use their upper body to create the torque. So they use their
I do
head,
that.
they use their head and their shoulder to gain power. They think they're gaining power and velocity that way. But the reality is the power should start with the legs. So you never want to throw your head and your shoulder to the left of your target if you're a lefty. You'd want to throw all your power straight ahead, and then you torque around this front arm. Legs are bent. See, I'm in a good athletic position, really relaxed. Stride, rotate, and then the ball would stay nice and relaxed. That time my head, I could feel it just go a smidge that way. Let me tell you one cheat on that drill. Every NFL head coach would say, stand tall in the pocket and release the ball high. But the only way to release the ball high, because a lot of times that arm is at a 90-degree angle, is to tilt your body to the outside of your frame, which is, again, is a big loss in efficiency. So in golf, they call it a reverse C. I would say in football, you'd almost want a reverse C as well. So I can almost still throw a football from that direction. And the reality is that's how a lot of these guys like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are throwing now. They can still create a 90-degree.
Real quick, one thing that would be interesting is, honestly, this same video by Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. I mean, they probably won't do it now because they're still playing, because then defenses will, like, study that. But, I mean, you should be studying that anyway. Whatever, this is Tom Brady. The
angle,
GOAT.
but you see, if I put my arm at a 90-degree angle and I just change my hip position, I'm not changing my arm angle.
It's like those throws with Pat and Aaron where it's sometimes an announcer will say it looks like sidearm, but it's really not sidearm.
It's really a side bend.
Yeah.
That 90-degree
That's not
angle,
what he
if
means,
I
bro.
create just with my hips rotating.
A sidearm throw is literally throwing it at your side. That's not what it is.
And this is the major problem with a lot of young players and a lot of college players. They start throwing like this, and their energy is not going at the target. So here, bent, you can see I would work on a lot of sidearm throws to get the feel. And the important part is not to let your head go to the left. So that funnel goes right to where my target is. I have all my weight behind, and then a torque.
And then there's a step in there somewhere where we win 7 Super Bowls.
Well said, KB.
That's kind of glaze.
Back out on the football field today. How you feeling?
Rusty, but having fun.
The draft's coming up. ZipRecruiter is the best at spotting and evaluating talent. If you want to see how good you are,
I'd like to think that I'm pretty good at this.
I've got a stack of real QB scouting reports here. Tell me what round you would pick these guys in.
QB1, 6'4", 235 pounds, built like a linebacker, huge arm, can force throws into coverage. That's a good-looking prospect right there. Force into coverage, I could teach you not how to throw the ball into coverage.
I don't know
this
who
is
that would
like
be.
first, round type quarterback.
He just says first round. I mean, based off of what just happened in the draft, yeah, nothing is first round.
Profile right here.
Next up,
6 foot flat, 195 pounds, super coachable, high motor, limited upside,
where's that guy going for you?
like 6th round pick, maybe,
Sixth
you know,
round pick
something
is
late.
Number
kinda
3.
crazy.
All right, 6'5", 210, limited mobility, very poor build.
Oh,
Doesn't
that's Tom
perform
Brady.
beyond his
That's Tom Brady.
capabilities. That sounds a little more like me.
So that's your actual scouting report.
I
before
knew
the
it.
draft.
I'm
I
very
knew they
happy
were gonna
about
do
this
that.
profile. It can't.
Can't teach art. Where are you taking that guy? Be honest.
This is an undrafted free agent. Let's bring him into camp, see if he can make it through rookie minicamp.
What's a question that you wish someone had asked you back then? One that would have revealed more than all the stats.
Talk about the biggest adversities you faced in your athletic career.
What are you looking for now when you're building a team? Any team.
I think the best thing and the most important thing is your character, your values, your hard work, your discipline, your commitment, all the things that are sustainable over a long period of time, in a fast 40 time. I might have another career as a scout down the line.
I wouldn't bet on that. You said you're going to pass on yourself there.
It's an error in judgment. ZipRecruiter is the GOAT at finding talent.
Are there a handful of throws that
That's just a
stand out to
sponsor.
you as like wow throws from your career?
Super Bowl 51 to Danny Amendola, the overtime throw. It was just the perfect velocity, the perfect timing, the perfect location. That was a perfect throw.
That was one of them. What about a deep ball?
Moss at the Giants, 2007, to break the record. And it just came down like a butterfly with
That was
sore
that
legs
one-hand catch, right?
right into his hands. It's all a feel, and it's amazing what can take place in the last 2 inches of the release point. You still have the way to either speed it up or slow it down, or pull it inside or push it outside. Going through your throwing motion, you're still deciding exactly what you want it to do. Oh, I got another great throw for you.
Yeah.
Nita Gronk at the Steelers 2010. There was probably 1 inch of separation I had on probably like a 25-yard throw. I mean, I absolutely ripped it. It hit Gronk perfectly. There was another one to Gronk. Oh my God, 2016 to Gronk at Pittsburgh for about a 35-yard touchdown. He was running up the middle of the field, and I threw the ball so early, and Belichick asked him a question, how did you know the safety wasn't gonna take Gronk? And I said, well, I was looking at his eyes. The way that his body looked, it looked like he was going to take the inside route, but I was looking at his eyes, and he was focused on the outside route, and then Gronk ran inside, and I made an absolutely perfect throw. And
You know, shout out Tom Brady. It's the GOAT. Now I know how to throw a football. But anyways, his link to his video will be in the description. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for more.